I'm trying to get the proper stream link.
Keep in mind, you got that link from YouTube, and now you're initiating a different
Stream. And and then that link is saying what now? On that same.
No, I think it's a different one.
What is the link?
Here, yeah, they're different links. Because you got that link from Studio.
Yeah. But where did you find that, on my page?
Yeah.
Okay, so it must have been an error beforehand, but then how am I supposed to promote this? I guess there's got to be a way.
I'm going to look into scheduled streams.
And yeah, and then also like how to promote your streams. That should be like. Anyways, if I'm live now, I can't give people the link though.
Yeah, you give it to them.
Can you? I guess so.
I know it's fucked up. You have to go to your own page to find it. But is there a share option in Streamlabs?
I don't.
Like in the chat box.
Participate, send feedback. No, I don't think so. Edit your stream title. Go to YouTube to view your stream live. Okay. Go to your YouTube live dashboard. So then it takes me. It takes me straight to the YouTube live dashboard. Okay. Okay. Great. Now, from here. Okay, that's your computer. And then if I go to share, that's the link.
Is it VG, whatever? Yeah.
Well, it's, yeah. Yeah, VW. But how do I get that in advance? Thank you. Can I might just try and.
Change anything?
Yeah, okay.
See if we can click the beginning after or something.
Yeah, no, we'll make it work. I'm gonna start from scratch. Yo, check, everybody. My name is Brav, and we are back after some technical difficulties. You're watching I Can't Produce, and we're on YouTube now. So, actually, give me just 1 second, just to make sure. Actually, fuck it. This is Mashup Monday. If I'm catching anybody on the YouTube interwebs, I appreciate you watching, and we're gonna have some fun today. Check out all the links in the description. Subscribe, read the title. Just let's have some fun. I'm tired of technical difficulties. We're in Ableton. We've got 3 or 4 songs here that we intend to blend together to make something brand new, make something unique. And right now we're also in the process of warping them. So let us hop onto that. This is this Biggie Everyday Struggle Flip by Host. Excuse me. Whew. Great. Sorry about that. Woo-hoo. That was an accident. I shouldn't be hearing myself in the... That's why. Okay. Well, now hopefully you didn't hear double, but I heard myself in the microphone or in my headphones. And I think so we were actually in the process of warping all of these tracks. I'm not going to go ahead and just like replay them all. I think we got this one on lock. This guy. Yeah. It's about right. So let's move on to this guy, third song, and see what tempo he's supposed to be at. Again, I like to focus on the very first section of the song, and I like to see where they start to like bring in these loops. This percussion seems to be starting at around 7 after 6 bars, and that makes me think that it's not exactly right. It's not exactly on point. originally they tend to be around here. So once we're in the once we're in the 160 range, you could technically make it you could just make it 80, and it'd be and then if you change the master tempo to 80, then it's basically just going to account for the fact that you are moving at a slower tempo, so the song sounds better. But it looks like now this is our third song that's really up there in this the 150 range. And like I said, once we get really close, we can just double click one of these transient warp markers and bring it in. So now let's move on to this guy. Now this guy, let's see what he is, what we're working with. Two, three, four. Okay, so we're going to put that actually right around here, but that seems a little bit too fast because 178 is just like, that doesn't make any sense. So maybe we can put that right here and see. Now we're at 88. That does make a little bit more sense. So let's try that out. Okay, so we've clearly got, I think this is the right tempo, but to be fair, this is way slower than the other songs that we're working with, but not too bad. If we double it right here. So we know that this one, it's the beginning of a phrase. So it's either going to start at the end of the 8th bar, or it's going to start, I believe, at the end of the 4th bar. So now we're right around the tempo that I think we're going to be working with. So let's see what it sounds like when we got 4 bars right here. So it sounds really fucking fast. So we're going to double that. So the reason I picked 4 songs is just in case I can find something interesting. So I'm gonna play with this and see if there are any samples that I'll grab at this tempo. But I don't see it being like, well, you know what? I have a better idea. I'm gonna keep it really fast. And we're gonna just I'll play with it at the end. This is really oopsie. This might be our last resort, so because of that, I'm just gonna silence this track and maybe just minimize it for now. Throw you at the top. That's what I'm gonna be doing. So now that it looks like all of these guys are pretty lined up, And you know what that means. Play them all at once. Okay, so they're not perfectly warped. So I don't want to spend all my time warping, but I'll dive into it a little bit more. So we got this first. It looks like we got this first snare, kind of on lock. It's looking really good, but it trails off somewhere around here. So I mean, yeah, I personally recommend you can make these small adjustments here. So once you get it close enough in the beginning with the segment BPM, these guys are a lot easier to figure out where they're supposed to be. What? Okay. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's skip forward here. Three, 4. So not bad. Here we go. Let's see what this sounds like. So that kind of lined up a few things right here, especially I'm assuming this probably belongs there. And there's a difference between double clicking and then just dragging. And that seems to have done it for a little bit, because I didn't double click. Double clicking and getting a yellow warp marker means that things on this side will not change based on the dragging that you do here. So I'll just do one example. You see, everything behind this warp marker is not being affected. That's a very useful point and tip to know. But so now it's essentially adjusting the segment BPM a second time. But it looks like that got a lot of things on track. Let's double check that. 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Still looking pretty fly. So we're gonna. All right. Now this guy is he needs some work, I think. Yeah, so immediately, right here, this is where you want the very beginning of the clip to be. So I'm going to hit set 1-1 right there, changing that clip there. And we have no need for that anymore. Let's get rid of that warp marker, honestly. Maybe this warp marker too. Yeah, nope. Oh, come on. This is where we're perfect. 1. God damn, that's pretty crispy. Okay, so that's where we're at. That's what we're doing with that one. This guy can get dragged out all the way. That's cool with me. Why don't we take all these songs, take them all the way out? I have a really weird method for mashing up songs. You would think that I would want to put different sections and different parts, and loop certain sections that I like in a song. But the way that I originally started doing this concept was really just by inspired by the way that I DJ and my DJ techniques, which are pretty, bad, if I'm being honest. Like, I rarely set cue markers. If you know anything about DJing, this will be this will be funny. But I rarely set any cue markers, and I normally just let songs ride out, change the key maybe a little bit, and I see like where they naturally fall into play with each other. So that's why I approach this the way that I do. Oh man, this chair is not sitting right. But anyways, we picked our tempo. This sounds about right. Doesn't sound in key with the other song. But let's finish warping this guy right here. 4. Okay, so it's. I think it's pretty clear that I'm off here.
And when you start to pussy like the ass, who's next? I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of her ass. 2 pounds of hash in the stash. I wait for her to make some quick cash. I told her she could be lieutenant, bitch got gas. At last, I'm little.
This is kind of a weird tempo for me, but I think what's going on here is so.
And when you start to pussy like the ass, who's next? I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of.
So this guy, why? It seems like he might want to. What if he starts here?
On my way to Maryland, with about 2 trucks to take away this project. They call him 2 checks, he told him 2 checks. And when you start to pussy like the ass, who's next? I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of her ass.
Okay, so the difference here is that you see immediately after this warp marker, it only affected the things that happened on the left side, but it did not change the tempo on the right side. So what that means here is we don't want to set another warp marker because it's just going to isolate a different part of that song. So like if I double click here, look, it's going to affect the things in the middle, but everything here does not change. So now that we know that this is locked in, this is a great 16. After 16 bars, the bass comes in. That's a really good sign. It's easy for us to match things up. But after that, if the tempo's changing, 3, 4, 1, 2, this guy right here, he's got to be like all the way over here. So that when you don't double click, you're warping the entire rest of the clip after the warp marker, which is this double yellow one. Hope that's not too repetitive. Ask some questions in the chat if it wasn't like clear. But that's how I understand it, and it's impossible to do these mashups or like really anything without understanding that. Warping was really confusing for me at first, and it still messes with me. This is Mashup Monday number 4, and so honestly, I'm about to spend like 20 minutes warping again. So this isn't the fun part, and I'll probably be warping these later, and then maybe I'll put out a tutorial about warping in the future, so that there's something to check out if you're not sure how I get to the point that I get to. But it looks like this will be good. Let's double check to make sure everything towards the end still stays on beat.
Bad bills to pay, that's why you drink Tanqueray, so you can reminisce and wish you wasn't living so double. Shit, wish you wasn't living so double. Shit, I remember I was just like you, smoking blunts with my crew, flipping those 62s, cause GED was a B.I.G. I had to get B.A.D. That's why my mom sent me. She was forced to kick me out, no doubt. Then I figured out, niggas went for 20 down south. Packed up my tools for my raw power move. Glock 19, better have your cat in hand.
Okay, nice. All right, so this looks all good to me. Let's get to the mixing. What do we want to use for an intro? I'm just gonna do this for fun.
My honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack over ass. 2 pounds of head in the stash. Away for 100 days, quick cash. I told you to be my benefits, like gas and ass. The middle of the sound was black, sitting back out, double-digit thousands stacks. Had to re-up to see what's up with my peeps. Toyota dealer gone, had it cheap on the Jeep. See who got smoked, what rumors were spread. Last I heard I was dead. To the head, then I got the phone call and couldn't hit me harder. We got infiltrated, like you know what the Carter heard. Tex got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some
Okay, so that like Biggie, his voice, man, it slaps and it sounds really good with EDM. But there's got this, I may have fucked up here, because there's a whole jazz like R&B beat going on under here, and really what I want to hear is like Biggie's voice. So maybe I could EQ his voice out of it, but like what if I let the R&B flare out, What if I did some, like what if I'm thinking I really play with that beat and then here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that because of how drastically different these guys are, what if I let this mostly ride out, give Biggie his his space, and then afterwards, just put in some fills here where they could go well on this track. Just we're working with two different genres here, so I want to see exactly where they fuse together nicely, and that's what this show's all about. So I'll show you what I mean rather than just keep talking about it.
project, they call them two texts. And when you start to hussy like the ass, who's next? I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack over ass. 2 pounds of hash in the stash. Away for 100 days, quick cash. I told you to be my benefits, like gas and ass. The middle of the sound was black, sitting back out.
Okay, so these guys both look like slightly off, and that's disappointing. This is not supposed to be so late, but it doesn't. Oh wait, I guess. Sure. Oh boy, nope, we don't want that. That's for sure. And then this guy on the 25 mark. What's he doing? Is he close? He looks like he's got it. It's really close. Like I don't really know what to do about that. Let's see. Let's give it a listen again. Okay, so the first thing, like, it's a little jarring, but if we change the key to maybe match the, well, I'm gonna change Biggie's key first, actually, just for fun. Okay, that sounds kind of interesting. Let's see if we can mess with this. kind of hard to pick a key for this one. Okay, so there's some interferences here, but and I'm not even certain on the key, but we got to keep going. It doesn't sound like appalling or like too abrasive, but there's some elements, some percussive elements that are really like interfering with each other. But Biggie's voice just rides over that so smoothly, and that's what I'm gonna try and emphasize. But I will try and give some justice to those like awesome live instruments that looks like Host. HOST has got incorporated in that Biggie flip. So how am I going to do that? How on earth am I going to do that? I'm going to start with chops this time instead of like the flares. So let's see where we can start messing this up. So there are these rolls that are going into this beat. It's kind of weird. I don't like that. I actually really don't like it. So I'm gonna delete it. Okay, well that sounds like trash. So now we're gonna try something different. Oops, nope. We are going to try and put like a gate effect on here and see if it kind of softens it up. That's really fast. So, no. Nope, even fuck, that's way too fast. Let's see what this fade does to that roll. Okay. So that blah 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 blah. That part I'm gonna cut. It just doesn't sound right to me. Yeah, no, Biggie's voice is like way better. So, and then there's this roll here again. God. It's this offbeat roll, and I look, dude. Much respect to the artist, but it's a little jarring to me. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to work with that without cutting Biggie's voice out entirely? Maybe they're in a different frequency. Maybe I could EQ it. Oh, you know what? If I put like a really interesting, like let's say like lo-fi effect or like lo-fi filter effect, that might do us some real good. So let's just try an auto filter, and then I'll also get an EQ8 on here. And then we can actually visualize like where that shit's coming from. Let's turn off the EQ8. Lo-fi, if you want to think of lo-fi, think of like old radios. And if you think of old radios, think about the fact how they really didn't have a lot of low end. The speakers were really small, and the speakers were really just meant to capture the frequencies of like people talking. And besides the point, when I think of lo-fi, I think of old technology. And when I think of old technology, I don't think of like subwoofers. I think of getting rid of the lower frequency, because the lower frequency in low fidelity just is really not that pronounced. So if you're going for a lo-fi effect, change your filter to a high pass and start cutting out and maybe resonating some of these lower frequencies to give it a really like grainy sound. So let's see what that sounds like on Biggie's beat, or on Host's beat. And so you still hear that roll. Where's that frequency? Okay, so that's actually much more manageable, because Biggie's registers, I'd say, right around here. And there's a lot of reverb on that track anyways, so I'm not going to add more to it, but let's see what happens now when we kind of get rid of those conflicting. And here, I'm actually going to do something. Yeah. Or just see what it sounds like together now. So that wah 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 wah, that just doesn't fit. Okay.
I got my honey on the Amtrak with the crack in the crack of my ass. 2 pounds of hash in the stash. I wait for honey to make some quick cash. I took it to the people, benefits, got gas and sitting back out double digit thousands stack.
Okay. I am liking some of the lower end in that song. Oh my god, so there's a little... What if I got rid of this? Okay, that sounds fucking sick. I can't ignore that one. That's too hard to eat. Oh, that just sounded so good. Yeah, that, oh my god, what is... Wow, okay. So, what is this, what are we working with? So it's these like these tones really. They're better suited for space, I think. Wow, wow. Okay, so here's something I'm gonna do. there's a lot of conflicting noises in here. But I'm digging the bass line from this first song, and this is kind of opposite of what I was attempting to do or thinking about doing. To be honest, it's a little easier to work with this this really bassy song. That's so let me explain my thinking here. What I want to do is I kind of want to compress the frequencies here that whenever the bass hits from Ion Big City, the first track that I have pulled up here, I want the I think I want the bass to duck out. I don't know if I can isolate the frequency that gets compressed without a multi-band compressor. I'm not sure I have that. Multi-band dynamics, OTT. Yeah, we're not going to work with that right now. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to try and compress this guy. I'm on the right track, the Biggie song. And then I'm going to get the input from this track. But on the EQ, I only want the low end to really fuck with this. And I think you'll see why. So, and then there's parts, so there's this, sorry, this part right here. I'll just delete that because it's not necessary, but I'm going to try and put like a small fade in there and see if we can get Biggie to pop out a little bit more there. So we're compressing him a lot. Let's turn that release down because I really want him to come back punchy, and the release helps with that. And if we turn that attack slightly up, we'll get a more dramatic effect. And we'll turn the gain up.
I told her once you get the bricks, I make the hook the rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3 until then looks out with the whole family. A true G that's been blowing like a bubble.
So I guess around this section, I kind of don't want to hear that roll. Okay, interesting. So with that, I still feel like there's a lot of clutter, but I think we're on to something. So womp womp womp. I don't know how necessary that is, so let's try cutting it out again.
Over nickel plated burners, and my bitch swear to God she gon' snitch. I told her once you get the bricks, I make the hook the rich. I told her once you get the bricks, I make the hook the. Once you get the bricks, I make. Plated burners, and my bitch swear to God she gon'.
This could be deeper.
And my bitch swear to God she won't snitch. And my bitch swear to God.
Okay, so this is interesting. I'm going to need to transpose this. Going to go to our envelope. Going to go to transpose modulation. And at this hit, it just needs to be semitone lower. Half step lower.
And my bitch swear to God she won't snitch.
It just sounds better that way. Sometimes it's a hack, man. It's just what I do.
And my bitch swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hook. She won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the I told her when she hit the and my bitch swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooker rich. I make the hooker rich. Bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy. Bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy. Bricks I make the hooker rich. Bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3 until day looks out with the whole family. A true G that's blowing like a bubble. And the
So this is a good part for a change up right here. I'm even going to try and mess with the key a little bit right here just to see if I can make it different.
got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some bitch they now murder over nickel plated burners. And my bitch swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3 until day looks out with the whole family. A true G that's blowing like a bubble.
Interesting.
Last I heard I was dead. To the head. Last I heard
I really like this part, but I wonder if I can make it again just slightly more interesting.
Last I heard I was dead. To the head. Last I heard I was dead. Last I heard I was dead.
Shit.
Last I heard I was dead. To the head. Then I got the phone call and couldn't hit me harder. We traded. Got murdered in the town.
Okay, so I think this part right here it needs some more chops.
Got murdered in the town. I never heard about some bitch. Got murdered in the town. Murdered in the town. I never heard. Murdered in the town. Murdered in the town. I never heard about some. murdered by some bitch.
Ooh, that's kind of spicy.
Got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some bitch named Alberta over nickel-plated burners. And my bitch swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3 until day looks out with the whole family. A true G that's blowing like a bubble.
Let's see if I can take out oh my god, these rolls are killing me, man. Like, you've got such nice guitar chords, but I can't do much when there's like this really aggressive roll in there. I wonder if I can. Okay, this is gonna be like I'm breaking every rule by trying to do this, but if I get a filter on here and then like automate it, and let's keep it normal. Sure. Okay, I don't like it. Get out of here. Control Y. Well, if that's the case, I don't think that roll happens on every guitarist drum, so I think we're going to split it. And then, yeah. This roll is just really hard to work with. I hope you can hear it. Okay, yeah. So every time I hear the roll, I think I'm going to do something like that where I just fade the volume down like right in the middle of it, and then I'll let the other song like take over and get it to oh wow, you can't see me on the stream. Okay, so I'm going to try and do that on a different guitar strum now though. Yeah. Let's see what this sounds like. I have a feeling this might sound interesting. Yeah, that's sick. Okay, so let's find these other guitar strums that don't have the roll in them. Okay, so yeah, so here we go. That strum, it's okay. It's doing what it needs to do, I think. Okay, well that intro maybe it's not the best place to put that. You know what? Maybe I don't even need like I don't think I really want that. Well, okay, so here's an immediate roll. I don't want it. Oh my god, I don't know how to get rid of that crossfade on the first time. But anyways, here we go. God, that roll is okay, if we just
dead. To the head. Then last I heard I was dead. I heard I was dead. I heard I was dead. To the head. Then
God, that phrase. Oh, that's so good. I love that part.
dead.
Oh, whoa, hold on.
Dead. To the head. Then I got the phone call and couldn't hit me harder. We traded. Like you know what the father heard.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna try and look for these guitar strums.
Double thousand stacks at the Rio. See what's stacks at the Rio. See what's up with my peeps. Touch Amazon and cheap.
So is that another? Was that a roll? Was that a roll? Did that happen? It did.
Touch Amazon. Touch Amazon and cheap. Touch Amazon and cheap. Peeps. Touch Amazon and cheap. See you got Amazon and cheap. See who got smoke when the rumors were spread. Like Rio, see what's up with my peeps. Touch Amazon and cheap. See who got smoke when the rumors were spread. Last I heard I was dead. To the head. Then I got the phone call and couldn't hit me harder. We traded. Like you know what the father heard. Tex got murdered. Tech got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some bitch named Alberta over nickel plated burners. Bitch named Alberta over nickel plated burners. And my bitch swear to God she gon' snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks. And my bitch swear to God she gon' snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooker rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3 until day looks out. With the whole family, a true G that's been blowing like a bubble. And the everyday struggle. And the everyday. In the everyday struggle. In the everyday struggle.
So right here, it's a really big change. It's like almost to like a totally different section of the song, and we could start off with Biggie, but then we got a pretty iconic song here too. This is all like a pretty rough sketch too. Like there are some things that I could do. There's reverb. There's definitely more. There's more space that I want to fill in here between these two. But I'm really just right now the way that things have worked out for me is I like finding a groove. I like finding something that keeps me like in it, even if the sounds in the song don't sound exactly in key. There is something that keeps my head nodding, and that's like even if they sound close enough, just close enough. Look for that drum beat. Look for where they are agreeing, and that's where that's what I aim to get out of these projects. So again, it might not sound good at first, or maybe at all. But that is my thought process. So I'm going to try and bring this third song into the mix right as this first break or first drop ends. okay, so these will mash up really well because you have like just like in that one song, and then you've got whoop whoop. That's the sound of the police, and I think that would be just a sick like chop between the two. Oh my god, these two songs are fucking wild. That's the sound of the police. Police. Pilot. Ah. Okay, so this should be a pretty. So I'm not even gonna worry about the build up too much. I really just want to chop up these drops and come up with a new sound altogether. So. Jesus. Okay, well maybe that's not the... Okay, interesting. That's kind of... I really want to incorporate that because it's like, it's just smooth, but there's got to be a way I can do it, right? Seems fun. Interesting. I could just kind of maybe fuck up the gain on this specific section. Oh wait, no, that's an entire section. Okay, wow, interesting. Fuck it up. So I'm going to try a different technique where I just take it halfway, put a pretty interesting fade, and then do a less Jurassic fade. Okay, no fade on this guy. Fine. And then we'll just do a more dramatic phase here. or fade. Okay, that's not really working. There's no groove on that. Yeah, I don't think that's working. Unless you could unless the key is off. That's very interesting. See if a different key suits us. It's late over here out here in Madison, out here in Madtown. Excuse me for my yawning. We're going to do a quick cutaway there. key is a little bit off. I wonder if we could go for a key change here. I might. So in order to do that smoothly, I'm going to have to consolidate these tracks. And I'm going to do that with Control J. This is not... Oh, shit. This is actually a really bad idea. Cancel. There's a reason I canceled that. Basically, every time I split the song, I kind of expect the clip to be there, the entire clip. And I think by consolidating that, I might be losing that extra data. So I'm going to save that part for later, actually. I'm going to try changing this guy right here. Make it lower. We could drop it down. Just going to try a little key change here. Okay, so that does sound a little bit better. Not really what I'm looking for there. I'm... Actually, no. Oh, that sounds kind of sour.
until then he looks out for the whole family. A true G that's blowing like a bubble in the everyday struggle.
kind of want to bring this Biggie back in. Okay. Is there the second drop doesn't really seem any different than the first one. Okay, so here we go. I don't really want the second drop. I really don't. It came out of nowhere. We're gonna see if we can stick that in right here. God, that's so weird. It like jams so well. So that's really weird. So we're gonna include. We're just gonna play everything, but we're now gonna include this fourth song. See if it sounds good. It's probably not going to, but we gotta do it. Okay, we're doubling the speed. Also, we don't know if that's quantized right. Looks in time now. I repitched it, or I put the warp setting to repitch. So that means I can't really change the key. What if I used... Okay, so the beginning is off.
in a town I never heard about. Some bitch that now murder over nickel plated burners. And my bitch swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooks a rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3 until they look south with the whole family. A true G, that's me, flowing like a pump. In the everyday struggle.
Wow, okay, a little indecisive here. Sheesh. So this is kind of interesting, and we're approaching about an hour and a half on the stream, which is about as long as I keep these, at least for the time being. This is interesting. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this because, to be honest, I was really going in one direction with this sound of the Hotbox song. I really, really like the instrumentals in this other one, so it's a little bit hard to choose from, because I could just get rid of. Last I heard I was dead with 6 to the head. Then I heard the phone call and told me harder. We step up ready. I didn't know what the call. I heard Jack got murdered in the town I never heard about. Some bitch that now murder over nickel plated burners. And my bitch swear to God she won't snitch. I told her when she hit the bricks I make the hooks a rich. Conspiracy, she'll be home in 3 until they look south with the whole family. A true G, that's me, blowing like a pump. In the everyday struggle. Okay. So you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. I think this is a really great like baseline to work with. I don't know if I'm gonna incorporate this first song that has the awesome instrumentals in the end, where I post these on my SoundCloud page, soundcloud.com/icanproduce, and that's where you would find all of the project files along with the finished track that I like to post on there. So go ahead and check that page out. Give us a follow if you'd really like to see us keep doing what we're doing. And those are some educational files that you're going to get. So just be sure to look for those. My name is Brav, and I'm closing out this stream soon. Just in sum, basically what we did is we got these 3 songs, or we got 4 songs, and one of them normally I like to carry out through the entire song. And basically at the end when I isolated just these 2, and then at the end I basically had another 2, it basically felt like 2 mashups. And I want the song to feel more consistent, and I think that the way to do that is to incorporate instruments from a specific song throughout the entire thing. You just kind of catch the vibe of the artist and the flow that they were going for. And I feel like I've really spread myself out a little bit too thin, but maybe one day I'll get really good at matching up 4 songs. Maybe keeping them all together. And again, last thing, I chose these songs at random. They're very I lucked out that the 3 of them are around the same BPM range. But honestly, if I had put a little bit more preparation into this, maybe they would have turned out better. Not to say though, I really like doing things at random. Throwing yourself into it into something like this is a challenge, and I think that's how we get better at producers. So, on that note, my name is Brav. You are watching I Can't Produce, and thank you very much for doing so. I'm tuning out, and until next time, Trap Tuesdays tomorrow, everybody. Keep sucking. Love y'all. Much love. Nothing but love.